You learn two things in detective school. First, always keep your files neat and orderly. And second, a case that involves a missing blonde will inevitably drive you to drink. Still, something about this case intrigued me. Besides, I was between clients at the time, and certain bill collectors were starting to get ugly. The papers said she was last seen in Deathstalker Hollow, walking her chihuahua through a nearby graveyard. Not much to go on, but I had to start somewhere.
Ed, there's a gentleman out here to see you. It looks like he wants money. Do you want me to show him in, or do you want to go out the window again?
He wanted money, all right,
Thank you, Mr.
but it was
Spectre.
for a good cause.
All proceeds go to the orphanage and are, of course, tax deductible. I don't mean to pry, but your secretary mentioned that you might be driving out to Deathstalker Hollow tonight. It's a very evil place. I want you to have this. It may save your life. It's a vial of holy water. $12. Tax deductible?
I decided to take a few moments to organize my thoughts, so I poured myself another drink and began to read. I passed out sometime around midnight.
As I slowly regained consciousness, I was touched by my secretary's concern.
Ed, are you all right?
Poor kid was crazy about me.
Don't you think you ought to start looking for that girl? I mean, I'd like to get paid this week too, you know.
The Deathstalker Institute was founded by a Nobel Prize-winning scientist who disappeared in the late 50s, leaving the place deserted for nearly 30 years. I walked up the creaking front steps and turned the knob. Locked. I got the answer one might expect from an empty house. Silence. Naturally, there was a key that fit the front door under the mat. The stench was awful. It was like entering a tomb. There were rotting stairs to my right and a room to my left, and I felt a cold chill on the back of my neck. I whirled about in time to see the wind slam the door shut. Then I realized I wasn't alone. I bid a fond farewell to the fanged femme fatale and ran up the stairs. I paused to see if I was being followed. I was. Her skin erupted as the water splashed onto her. The stench was awful. The second floor looked dark and uninviting. My fear faded as I fled. I felt fine till I fell. So I flipped over and found I'd been followed by a fanged femme fatale with a fried finger. I hated to be rude, but sometimes you got no choice. As I stood up, a strange mist started to come in from under the door. The only other door led to a closet. I hesitated before entering the closet. Was I a man or a mouse? I decided to give it serious consideration from inside the closet. In the darkness, I became aware of something gnawing on my ankle, so I switched on the light. Rats! Unfortunately, my fear of rodents led me straight into the vampiress's arms. I don't know how long I was out, but someone or something had dragged me to a cellar below Der Hatchet Manor. As I struggled to clear my head, I clicked on my flashlight and looked around. Any fool could see that the place had more than its share of dingbats, and I was no exception. It was there, in the cellar, that I discovered the little man with the evil grin.
I've informed the count of your arrival. He insists that you stay for dinner. Would you like that?
He fell for it, so I took the opportunity to bash him in the chops. I never hit a man when he's down, but I knew I should have made an exception when I felt his fingers on my throat. I flipped him into his coal bin and ran into the darkness. I wandered into what looked like an ancient Egyptian low-rent housing project. I could make out curse, Ham, honor, I. The curse of Hammon-Rai. When I turned to leave, I saw someone blocking the door. Obviously, the tomb's present resident, Just then, I spotted a prowler at the window. I hid behind a bush and watched him ransack the tomb. Apparently, the basket had a curse on it. The curse of Ham on Rye. I watched in silence as the basket was filled with jewels by the mummy of Ham on Rye, who nearly got grilled in the process. I grabbed a candle and rushed by old Drybones. On the steps above me, a green ghoul gestured gracefully. I approached the zombie reluctantly and asked him who his tailor was. His response was to push me backwards into a rickety old freight elevator.
What floor, please? First floor, everybody out. Watch the door.
We arrived on the first floor and I got off. I could hear faint piano music coming from somewhere. At the top of the stairs, I saw an ugly dwarf.
This is the master's private property. But it's my job to see that it remains private.
Private Eye versus Private Igor, eh? When he moved, I jumped over the railing. It was a long way to the first floor, and Laughing Boy was no help at all. I grabbed his shirt and he flipped over the railing. The second floor looked dark and uninviting. The room I next entered was obviously a library of some sort. There was a door to my left, another dead ahead, but most of the action was taking place in the kitchen on my right, where someone was practicing a bizarre form of culinary preparation. I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was something odd about the woman in the kitchen.
If you're hungry, get it yourself! There ain't no room service in this hotel!
I think maybe it was her 3-day beard. Inside the cupboard was a rose, a clove of garlic, and a couple of potatoes. I reached in and took the clove of garlic.
What do I now. You're spoiling your appetite.
I tiptoed out of the kitchen and left her to her work. A faint breeze carried a musty odor to my sensitive nostrils. This room seemed to be a lavatory. There was something odd about it, and then I realized what it was. The room smelled like wet dog. Suddenly, I realized that someone was coming up behind me. Thinking quickly, I stepped into the shower and pulled the curtain closed. A hairy paw reached in and turned on the water. I peered around the corner and saw a she-wolf busily primping herself for a night on the town. I whistled. She turned and giggled like a schoolgirl. Then she started towards me. She leaned forward and planted a wet, sloppy kiss on my lips, then stepped aside to let me pass. I stopped for a moment near the doorway to pick up a playing card for good luck. I rounded the corner and very nearly bumped into a female vampire. She was just starting to leave when I gave myself away. I hid, made a noise like a rat, and when I re-entered the room, it was empty. There was a closet in the corner with doors on either side of it. I opened the double doors and ducked as a broken-down bed bounced into the room. She rose from the bed like smoke from the burning book. I yanked the sheet from under her feet. She cracked her head as she fell off the bed. Eat your heart out, Mother Goose. I opened the closet door and hurried in. A moment later, I was in another hallway. I was reaching for the door handle when suddenly...
The one you seek is in that room, but she won't be living with you. Do you want to know why?
I ignored her and got about 2 feet before she grabbed me. I woke up with the feeling that I was at the end of my rope. When I realized that I was fit to be tied. The situation was bad and my life hung in the balance. But this was no time for reflection.
Mr. Spectre, did you have a nice nap? I'm so glad you decided to hang around. Well, the only reason why you're alive is because the master prefers a hot lunch to cold cuts.
I was trying to think of a diversion when I lost my footing. The whole world started to slip away as the rope bit into my neck. When I got up, I saw that the pipe had made quite an impression on Laughing Boy. I told Laughing Boy he was bound to be out of circulation for a while, but he didn't appreciate the gag. The next room contained an old writing desk under the Der Hatchet family crest. On the desk were many items of interest. Just as I picked up the papers, the candle lit itself, and a funky phantom friar floated into the room. As the parchment went up in smoke, likewise did the phantom.
What floor, please?
I stumbled into some kind of witch's coven.
Best not stick around, cutie. Morbia's not playing with a full deck tonight.
I pulled the card out of my pocket. The witches seemed pleased.
Thanks to you, Morbi is now playing with a full deck. We are in your debt, but do not try our patience.
I will tell of the unbridled wickedness of Count Vladimir Yorchikansky.
If I tell your fortune, the debt will be paid.
The Count is the true master of this house. To oppose him is to gamble with your life. Pick a card.
I picked a card. She didn't seem happy.
Luck is on your side, mortal. This much I will tell. The Count has his reasons for hating the seasons. Now go!
There was some kind of laboratory just ahead. I had no idea which way to turn. I thought I heard someone coming. I tried to hide.
No sense trying to hide, Mr. Spectre. I am Baron Otto der Hatchet, and your name is Mud. We have ways of dealing with trespassers here.
What could I do? He had a gun.
All right, quickly now. What is the capital of Minneapolis?
An unusual question.
Very good. I could use a brain like yours in my latest experiments. Have a seat, Mr. Spectre.
I had little choice. He was carrying a gun.
I said, sit down.
The chair looked comfy, so I sat down. The chair strapped me in automatically.
In just a few minutes, your brain will be occupying that massive body. Does the concept appeal to you?
Was he kidding or what? I struggled to break free, my feet coming within inches of the Baron. Then the chair flipped over.
Now look what you've done. You've fallen on your head and probably ruined your brain.
I came to in an attic. Someone or something was sitting across the attic from me.
At long last, the detective decides to pay a visit to his host. Have you enjoyed our hospitality so far?
It was difficult not to listen. His voice had a strong hypnotic effect.
You don't know me, but I know you. Each time you lapse in consciousness, I get to know you a little better. Come, sit, drink with me. It's something I picked out close to your heart.
That was my blood he was sucking on. Quickly, I checked my pockets. My pockets were empty.
I took the liberty of removing everything from your pockets.
This was Count Yorchakunsky. I knew I had failed when I looked into his eyes. I was powerless to resist him.